Welcome back to the channel. I just want to do a quick review of the recent mods I did to my Camaro. I'm going to go over a list of those real quick, and then we're going to do a couple things. Going to hop in the car and go for a ride. But first, I want to send a quick shout out to my friends up in Chicago, Christy and Mark Waters, who sent me a care package after they stopped by this summer. And they brought their family van down here. The van had some issues with some misfiring, still not completely fixed yet, but they made it back to Chicago. But they sent me a set of tools that I've been using pretty regularly when I do car projects and things like that, or just anything around the house. So thank you guys so much for this nice set of screwdrivers. Mark made fun of me because I couldn't find the screwdriver I was looking for, so he sent me this nice set of screwdrivers. Got a whole bunch of stuff in here that you don't need on an everyday basis, but it comes in handy, and I actually use most of these tools, especially these little bitty screwdrivers that can be used as picks and things like that to get little fasteners and stuff like that out. So once again, guys, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it so much. So now let's get into the rest of this. We're gonna go over a list of the mods I did to the car. A couple weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, I finished putting in a Texas Speed Cletus McFarland Bald Eagle promotional cam, which is basically a stage 2 cam that they have right now, but with a little bit less lift to it and slightly less duration on the exhaust side. The lift is about 600 as opposed to the 614 or 620, something like that that's on the stage 2 cam. Sounds about the same, runs pretty good. You can see from my last video that I had some really good numbers on it. In addition to that, I also put in a set of Texas Speed long tube headers with off-road connection pipes, and the car came to me with already having a GM Performance axle back exhaust and a K&N cold air kit, which I have not replaced. I was impressed with the numbers on the dyno, so I think I'm going to stick with that as opposed to biting the bullet and spending another $300, $400, maybe $500 on a new cold air, maybe a Roto Fab or something like that, one of the nicer top-notch models. So that's it for the mods so far. Oh yeah, and I also put in a Hurst short throw shifter, which is really nice, makes rowing through the gears a lot better. So now let's just get into what we're going to do for the review today. I'm going to do a quick cold start up here in a second. Then I'm going to take you for a drive. We're going to talk about gas mileage. We're going to talk about drivability. We're going to talk about the sound and what's next to do on the car. Hopefully I got another project here coming soon if I can get approval from my CFO in the house, if you know what I mean. So let's jump right into it, and we'll go ahead and do the cold start, and then we'll jump in the car. We're in the car now. Gonna go for a little spin here and see how it does. See how it does drivability wise. Pretty smooth in the first gear. No bucking, especially even under light acceleration. There's no bucking or anything like that. Shifting at reasonable shift points. 2,500 to 28 RPM. Right there I shifted at 2,000. We're in 4th gear at 1,500 RPMs with absolutely no bucking. Seems to be doing pretty good. You can also tell from inside the cabin, hopefully, that it's pretty quiet. You know, when you get on it, you can really hear it. But from inside the cabin, under normal load, it's pretty quiet. And I think those GM Performance mufflers are doing a good job keeping the noise to a reasonable level. Keeps my neighbors happy. You can hear a little bit of noise out of the shifter, which is pretty common for these Hurst shifters. They have a really hard plastic bushing on them, so you hear everything through the transmission and that shifter. All in all though, guys, drivability is pretty good. The only thing I will say is that before the camshaft, I could cruise in 6th gear at 60 miles an hour, which puts the RPMs in about the 1200 range. On a stock cam, that works fine, no issues at all. With any type of aggressive cam, you are going to have drivability issues then. So you really got to keep it into 5th gear until you get at least up to about 65, maybe 70 miles an hour, if you don't want to experience the bucking that's going to come from that. But other than that, hey, if you're putting a cam in your car, you're not really concerned about gas mileage and cruising around very much. But this is a cam that I enjoy. It's a cam that is definitely good for driving around, as well as giving you that sound of, hey guys, I got a cam. This is not just a regular car anymore. Now let's talk a little bit about gas mileage. Before I did the cam swap, I do a lot of, I guess, city driving, mixed driving, if you will. I don't really get on the toll road or the freeways or anything like that. I was averaging probably about high 15, 16 miles per gallon on a regular basis. I reset my fuel economy mode here this morning before I went to work, and took a whole trip to work, 12 miles there, 12 miles back, and I can say I'm consistently averaging about 12 miles per gallon on my normal commute. So that's a pretty dramatic drop in gas mileage. 20, what is that, 20%? 25%? Let's see, 4 miles, yeah, about 25% drop in gas mileage. Now averaging about 12, and I can definitely see that needle moving quite a bit. If you're the type of guy that's gonna drive your cammed Camaro for long road trips and things like that, I don't think you have anything to worry about. I'm gonna reset it again real quick, and we'll see what we get just cruising here. And we'll see how that does. Okay, just reset. We'll see what it clocks in at. So right now I'm going about 55 miles an hour in 5th gear under light load. Got a couple of hills, things like that. You can see it's coming in right at just above 20, right around 20 or so. If I get it up to 70, which I can't do here because the speed limit's 55, you'll see it stays about the same at about 70 in 6th gear. But I'd say you're probably averaging on your long trips, you can still get up to about 20 miles per gallon without shifting through the gears a lot. So I think you can see, if you're thinking you're gonna get better gas mileage by putting a cam in, that's definitely not the case. You're gonna suffer in the gas mileage department a little bit, but hey, that's not what the game is about, right? If you're doing stuff like this, you're doing it for power, you're doing it for sound, and for that whole race car experience. So that all comes along with it. A little bit less gas mileage is what it's about. So next up, I did tease a little bit here at the beginning of the video. I do want to talk about my next project that I'll hopefully be posting here pretty soon. It should be coming maybe in the next month or so, but what I'm expecting to do is to install some cutouts on this thing. I've had a vehicle before where I installed an electric cutout in the exhaust, which was awesome. It gave me the ability to run through my factory muffler and get that nice quiet sound, or I could just push a button on the dash, open it up, and then I was in race car mode. So with these GM Performance mufflers, it's obviously pretty quiet. It still has that nice cam sound. The long tube headers actually wake it up a little bit as well. But I'm thinking about putting some cutouts in the back that will be controlled with the remote switch that will give me that option to make this thing a race car as well. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. Keep your fingers crossed and give me some thumbs up if you're voting yes to do that, and those will go into consideration, of course. And then I'll walk you through that whole install process. We'll we'll do that in the garage as well, and then take it to the muffler shop to get them welded up nice and neat. Until then, guys, stay tuned and stay safe out there. Talk to you later.